Okay, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm Kat Shear, and this is a special presentation from Clydesdale Media. Before we get started, as usual, I'd like to remind everyone about our sponsors. RX Smart Gear provides world-class jump ropes, grips, and other gear for us all. Use the code Clydesdale15 for 15% off your order at rxsmartgear.com. Mobility Movement is a program that teaches you how to increase your capacity to heal, reduce recovery time, and restore your nervous system to peak health. Everyone gets a 7-day trial, and our followers will get their first month free after that 7-day trial when you use the code Clydesdale Free Month at mobilitymovement.com. And finally, C4 Energy, delivering the most effective, best tasting, and highest quality products. Get 20% off when you use the code Clydesdale at checkout at c4energy.com. And today on Meet the Athlete, we are chatting with Granite Games semifinalist Casey Crable. Casey, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate your time.
No problem.
Happy Memorial Day.
Yes, thank you. You too.
I'm guessing that Murph is not on the docket for you.
No, unfortunately not. I asked my coach this morning if we were doing it because it wasn't in the programming, but
yeah, probably not. It's okay. Hey, Labor Day's coming up. Maybe you can do it then.
Exactly.
There's always a chance to do that. This is not your first rodeo. You were at Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Challenge, the MACC, last year.
Yep.
You came in 18th place. Now coming into your second semifinal, how are you feeling?
I feel really good. It's been a good year of training. I learned a lot last year. It's kind of like my first real, event. I went to the Granite Games before, like in the pro and stuff like that, but last year was my first real taste of it. So learned a lot from that and some good training. So it's been going pretty well.
What, if anything, have you sort of switched up or fine-tuned since last year?
We worked on a lot of gymnastics stuff. Just kind of incorporating that. I've always been strength has been I just come from that kind of background. So we kind of put that on the back burner and maintained and just a lot of gymnastics density and stuff like that. So
being more of a strength athlete, is that hard to sort of step away from that and trust the fact that you're not going to lose it when you really focus on gymnastics?
It is, but I've experienced it enough to where even when we go back to it, I still it's a good reminder. I still have it, so it doesn't really. The numbers aren't always as high as they used to be, but it's plenty good enough for.
But they're enough. I had that conversation with one of my athletes just this morning. She's training to get to the next level, and she's very strong, and she's really struggles with gymnastics. And we have this conversation every once in a while where I say we really need to focus on gymnastics, and I find her doing her squat cycles again next week, and I'm like, what do we talk about? I understand it's hard. It's fun to do stuff you're good at.
Exactly. That's kind of it was easy to learn for me anyway, just because I had experience of just getting destroyed in those kind of workouts. So I would rather
it's not fun.
Either hang with or just be pretty consistent with the strength and not be embarrassed by the other stuff. So
give us a little insight into your athletic background prior to
high school wise, I was basketball and football, and then I went on to play Division III football my freshman year, and then I tore my ACL, and after that I transferred to another school, and then I didn't end up playing anymore. So that was did
you injure yourself during a game?
So as actually happened during the off season. So I just played special teams and stuff my freshman year. And then the off season training, it was a D3 school. So we had our strength and conditioning stuff, but then they played intramural basketball. So it actually happened during one of the intramural basketball games. And, they stopped it after that. But
did it take you a full year to recover from that surgery? They say pretty much 12 months is the gold standard.
Yeah, basically. So it was kind of a crappy situation, I guess. I knew something happened when it happened. Somebody's knee made contact with my knee when I got all my weight on it, and it just went the other way. But I probably went 3 or 4 months before, because I didn't go outside to get a doctor. I used our team doctor, and they just kept telling me that it was a deep bone bruise. So I went almost 4 months of like rehabbing. Like I was squatting again, and then like we tried to do like shuttles and stuff like that, but I couldn't plan off of it, obviously. So finally, I was like, talked to him, and I was like, I need to get an MRI. And then after that happened, like, yeah, it's gone. So I had surgery like a week later, and
Okay.
but it took about, I think it was like a good 9-10 months, and then I was kind of eased back into things.
So when did you start CrossFit then?
So that was football wise, and that was in 2011.
Okay.
When I tore it, and then I think I tore my meniscus in like 2014, and then after
Same knee?
Yeah, same knee. Yep.
Fun.
I've had 3 surgeries and everything's on my left side, so my elbow and my knee twice. But the what was I saying? The
How you started CrossFit?
yeah,
How
I
you
started
found it.
CrossFit. That's it. Yep. No, it's kind of my wife's cheerleading coach. They actually, her and her husband, who's a good friend of mine, they opened a gym back in like 2015 or 16.
All right, wait, hold on. Your wife's husband? Isn't that
Oh,
you?
sorry. My wife's cheerleading coach's husband.
Got it. Okay, I'm clear now.
That could have been a little bit weird.
That would have been weird.
Wife's cheerleading coach's husband. They opened up their own gym, and
Okay.
when I'd come back home from college on the weekends and stuff like that, we'd go over there and work out. And it kind of got me started there. And then while I was going to school and stuff, I was working. And actually, I was in Columbus. So Rogue had like job opportunities. So I went there and I got a job. And then I started like working out there and kind of got to see all the CrossFit stuff. And
Ooh, who was your coach?
For
At Rogue, when you worked out at Rogue.
Coached at Rogue. I just went there I worked there. So
But did you take class? Did they have the gym where you just go and do like open gym or?
Yeah. So like before they had that, they didn't really have, they had the big gym we were allowed to use, but like barely anybody that worked there really did CrossFit at the time.
Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah.
It wasn't I don't know. They created classes shortly after that. But,
got it. Okay.
Yes, so that's kind of where I started, and then before I didn't really get like, I guess like competitively into it until like 2008 or 19 almost, I think it was. But yeah,
right in time for the world to shut down and
yeah, exactly.
dash all your hopes.
Year in, and then the world shut down for a while. So that was I kind of had to either just decide to hang on to it, or I could have let it go.
Do you work full time?
Yes.
Aside from training?
Yep.
What do you do?
Build custom homes. So.
Oh, you're building your own custom home right now, aren't you?
Do what?
Are you building your own right now?
I already built mine. Me and the wife's, we built one back in, it's like 5 or 6 years now. That was the first one I ever built. But yes, I'm building. There's 2 going on right now. So.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I saw your Instagram post. I automatically assumed that it was your home, but if you do that for a living, I would imagine that you would build for other people. So.
I wish it was mine. The one I'm building right now, it's a lot bigger than my house. So.
It's quite nice for sure.
Yeah.
So how did you and your wife Lindsay meet?
High school actually. So like
wow.
going out of my senior year of high school, we got together and then we've been together ever since. So.
Did you go away for school? Did you guys do like long distance for a bit, or?
So I didn't go far. Like the school I went to was probably only like 35 minutes away. From where we lived, and then when I went to Columbus, she was also over there too. So.
Where do you guys call home now?
St. Paris, back where basically we went to high school.
And what state is that in?
Ohio.
It's still in Ohio. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a bunch of cornfields and yeah.
So I've looked on your Instagram profile, and I know you have 2 kids because I've seen pictures of your 2 little ones. But it also says that you're dad to somebody named Dan Cronin. Who's that? What's that story?
Dan's a really good friend of mine. I actually met him through CrossFit. He is kind of the weirdest story, but he was always like the third wheel there for a while, and so he just called me Dad. He was joking along, but yeah, when and one of the nicest guys you ever meet, but it was hilarious. I did a competition, it was like my first ever individual competition around here, and we're like in the corral about to go out there, and like this random guy comes up to me, he's like, "Hey man, this is your workout." He's like, "You're gonna kill it." And I'm like, I don't know who the heck you are. Like, what are you talking about? And then, long story short, like I met up with him a couple other times, and then now we're really good friends. I'm actually in his wedding this fall.
Oh, very cool. So did he say that just kind of as like a weird icebreaker to get to know you, or did he like know who you were?
No, that's just his like that's just kind of who he is. He's like he's just very outgoing and like just super awesome dude. But yeah, it was funny. We still joke about it today, but no, I forget what he said. So then I think if you go on his Instagram, it says son to me.
Perfect. I love it.
I just don't
have you been keeping up with the semis this past 2 weeks?
Yeah, I've watched some of them a lot on mostly Sundays. I've watched the last 2 Sundays. So
any key takeaways for you in watching?
Not really. It's like I said, it's kind of good. I kind of know what to expect as far as the intensity and what it's going to feel like based off of last year. And so I kind of know what's coming, but looking forward to it for sure.
Have you done any kind of mock training?
Yeah. I missed the out on training think tanks, the semifinals camps they had, but Kyle had me do something similar back home. So I did that a couple weeks ago. And then now that we know the workouts, just been testing them out and playing with them.
So my next question was going to be, who's your coach and what program do you follow? So it's Kyle Ruth and Training Think Tank.
Yep, with Training Think Tank. So
perfect. So have you worked out with Travis Mayer ever?
Yeah. When I went down there for quarterfinals. So I went down there for quarterfinals, and I don't think I worked out with him exactly, but I watched him work out. So
he's around, yeah. Well, he'll be around this weekend too. So
yeah, exactly.
Hopefully, you won't be able to see him work out because you'll be in the same heat as him, and then you won't be able to pay attention. Really, that would be pretty cool.
That's the plan for sure.
What do you and the family like to do for fun, Casey?
Really, we like to hang out at the house for the most part. Both my kids are young, so it's fun to either do that or we just hang out with some friends at each other's houses, I guess.
You're headed to a picnic now, right?
Yes. So I'm at it's actually my in-laws' house. They got a pool and stuff, so we're going swimming over there. So
perfect.
I like to stay in a controlled, safe environment. You know,
your small little bubble.
Yeah, I don't have to chase my kids around a public place because they just want to run and play. So
awesome. Smart man.
Yeah.
Who's going to be making the trip out there with you, and who will be cheering you on in person?
So my wife's coming with me. This will be the first time we're going to leave our kids at home this time. It's a lot less stress on her, which is less stress on me.
Right.
My parents are going. There's some friends from the gym around here that I go to when I can, and Dan's going.
Cool.
Kyle will be there, my coach, and
is he going to be? Will Kyle have your coach's pass for the weekend, or
yes.
are you going to be able to give that to somebody else?
He is going to have my coach's pass. This will be the first time that he's actually training, or will be there with me during the competition.
Awesome.
Yep.
Very cool. So, ultimate goals for the weekend for you, Case?
Just to go out there and obviously do the best I can and see where I stack up. But I feel like I've put in quite a bit of work, and I'm ready to just kind of see what it does.
Have you mentally compared the field of play compared to what it was at MACC in terms of, like you placed 18th, you filled some holes, based on who's there, you feel like you can do a little bit better this year?
Yeah, I mean, I always look at that, but then I look at just like things that have happened. I know last year I strained my hamstring on the first day of training for the semifinals. So
okay.
I didn't do any running or anything like that, really leading it up. And then there's just been different obstacles, a lot this year too, early on. So I don't really compare to that, but I just know that I'm feeling pretty good, and it'll be a good set of tests. I don't really look at workouts anymore like I used to as far as what I'm not good at. Just kind of look at them as the best way to attack them and see what I can do.
You got to get through them, right? You got to do them.
Yeah,
Get to the
exactly.
end of the weekend.
Anyway, so there's no reason to worry about them.
That's awesome. Well, I'm not going to be there in person, but my co-host Scott Schweitzer will be there. So make sure you look out for him in his Clydesdale Media t-shirt. One final question. Let's assume I've watched you compete all weekend and I'm going home and explaining, my experience to a friend, and I say, hey, that man, Casey Crable, he's blank. What would you want me to say about you?
What would you want me to say about me? That's a good question. Basically just a hard worker. I mean, I do a lot, so I take pride in kind of whatever I can as far as there's a lot of time I take away from the family. Luckily, like I said, Lindsay's always there to support me. I work out in the barn, so I can take the kids out there with me half the time, but still, it takes a lot to do a full-time job, especially like manual labor, and then try to do all that stuff also. So it takes a lot.
I can't imagine.
So
I can't imagine.
It's kind of like humbling, definitely. I mean, I know a lot of the other guys can either just are in a gym all day and stuff like that. So I take pride in what I can do, and like there's no expectations. I mean, I don't have any big sponsors or anything like that. So like it's not like I put a lot of pressure on myself. Not very many people know who I am. So
right. Well, you never know. There have been a lot of rookies that are going to the games this year, and people are talking about folks that we've interviewed in advance that nobody knew who they were before this weekend. So, my goal would be to have to repost this interview next weekend and go, if you want to learn a little bit more about Casey, go to our interview. We found him first.
That's the plan. That's what I'm going for. So
awesome. Well, yes, I'm sure you can. Best of luck to you. We'll be cheering you on, and let's do it again sometime.
That sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right. Yep. Enjoy your day.
Thank you.